Hello everyone, it is I, James the Squirrel, and I am here with Nicky V. Yay!
Yay, it's everyone's favorite.
Yes, you should all go watch his power rankings of Lucha Underground.
I think they came out well. And you should also check out the next video that I have planned, which is going to be big, and I hope I can get it up by Money in the Bank. And if not, then it's not coming up because
Because it's relevant to Money in the Bank, and if it doesn't come out
it's
before then, it's pointless, I'm guessing.
it's very relevant to Money in the Bank.
Okay, so, I
NXT.
yes, NXT happened, and we've got another new theme, which I personally like because I'm a metalhead.
It was just had a little bit too much going on all at once, and it just felt like noise.
But that's what metal music is. It's noise, it's loud, it's
Yeah,
screaming and loud. I like it. I
I
think
couldn't
it's
get into it.
much. I think it's much better than the last one they had.
Well, I would have liked for the last one to have a little bit of time to catch on, seeing as how they only had it for like 2 freaking months. So we opened the show with the bastard, the asshole among men, Tommaso Ciampa. So he's coming out on crutches. He's fucked up bad.
Hmm.
Uh,
So,
the they yeah.
so the long and short of his big promo is it came out on the internet that I might have been hurt, and then
Mhm.
everyone turned on me and started going, "Who is Johnny Gargano going to team with?" We may
Basically,
have done that.
fantasy booking killed DIY.
We may have done that just slightly.
We wanted Oni Lorcan or Scott
You
Dawson.
you wanted only
The
Lorcan. I wanted
I
Scott Dawson.
I even heard a couple Rich Swans because apparently they
Hmm.
like Gargano and Swan teamed up on the Indies some point. But yeah, that killed DIY.
Yes. I do also like the fact that he has said, I am injured, I will be away for a while, and probably what's going to happen is he's going to return, and Johnny's going to also return at pretty much the same time, and they're going to
Hmm.
have a match at Brooklyn, and then blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah,
I
blah, go to
I
Maine.
got some news for you. It's not gonna be Brooklyn.
You
It,
looked at
unless
the
it's
spoilers!
I didn't look at the spoilers. I looked at the injury report because they were talking about what kind of injury it was. So they said that Tommaso had some kind of knee injury, and that's all they would say. But from what I've been able to gather, it's looking like some sort of injury with his ACL. And if they're talking about major surgery for him, that sucker's torn.
Yeah, but if it was torn, would he be standing on it and doing what he did at the show?
Well, he was walking very gingerly, and he was just kind of moving a little bit in the ring. Certainly, what like you can still walk on a torn ACL from what I've been able to tell, but you can't do like wrestling things.
Yeah, but you'd think, okay, I've got this injury. All I should do is do a thing backstage, and focus on getting it healed. Not come out to the ring, get into the ring, and he did move around a fair bit in the ring when he was doing
Yeah,
his
but
promo.
he wanted to get that crowd riled up at him. Like he wanted to get the
Yeah, but
crowd
that
pissed
makes
at him, and you couldn't do that in a backstage segment.
yeah, but if you're injured, you don't do that kind of stuff. It's just
It's
not.
only a one-time deal, and odds are he couldn't make it any worse. It's not like you can double tear an ACL. So, one promo before he does his surgery, goes to do the surgery, starts rehabbing, and he promises to come back as the most dangerous son of a bitch in wrestling.
So here's the question, because we all agree that they were pretty much on their way to main roster, correct?
Probably. Like maybe one blow off match in NXT, but then like they both go up.
So here's the question. What if Johnny goes to 205 Live,
Hmm.
wins the belt, and then either later this year, early next year, yeah, Ciampa comes back and challenges him?
I could go with that. Like Johnny winning the cruiserweight title, like that would do well for him, like establish him as somebody to watch.
Hold
And
it for
then
like I'd say have him hold it for like 3 4 months leading into like the Rumble. Have him beat
dude,
the last person he needs to beat at the Rumble. Then leading into WrestleMania is like Ciampa shows back up, gets the number one contendership. They have one match
mhm.
at the pay per view before Mania, where it's like shenanigans, no one wins, and then at Mania they have a big blow off match.
That works for me. Like that like put a stipulation on there, make it seem intense, make it the cruiserweight version of Sammy versus
Ladder
Owens.
match
Maybe a ladder match.
because those two are
Although
good at
al-
ladders.
although with the kind of feud that they would be setting up for, I think you'd need something a little bit more personal, like say an I Quit, Last
Cage.
Man Standing, cage match. Well, maybe cage match, but
Mm.
like just something that would just like let these two guys like destroy one another with.
I think not an I Quit match, but a submission match would be perfectly fine, or a last man standing match. I wouldn't. I would also love to see these two in an Iron Man match because,
That'd
oh,
also be fun.
like a not a like really long one, maybe like a long one for the pre-show. Like they're the main
Maybe.
event of the pre-show, which would be like, sure they're not on the main show, and yes we could bitch about that. But if they were given like a
Well,
half an hour spot on at the end of the pre-show as a big hype match,
mm-hmm. Have them
that's
main event the pre-show.
yeah, that would be a like sure they're not on main Ross, they're not on the main show, but they've got a big job to do in getting the crowd hyped for the main show. As
Yeah,
a
and like they
follow
could do that.
this.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Well, all in all, it was really strong promo.
Oh yeah,
Like Tommaso isn't exactly known as a promo guy, but this had a lot of fire to it, and I liked it. So next up after this was a Danny Burch package.
yep.
Like says he's been a box or he was a boxer throughout his entire childhood. Says there's no plan B for him and that he's here to win. Like it was really straightforward, which kind of fits in with his character, which is basically just no nonsense British brawler guy.
Looks over at Pete Dunne, waves at the other no nonsense British brawler.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of them.
But Dunn is no nonsensier.
And he's also much better on the mic.
Yeah. So I had a thought.
Go on.
Like, you know how they brought in Brian Kendrick as like the veteran of the cruiserweight division?
Mm-hmm.
You know who I would like for them to bring back as the veteran for the UK division?
Go on. I can give you
Paul
go on.
Paul Burchill.
I can give you multiple reasons why that is a terrible idea.
And bring back the pirate gimmick.
That is one of the reasons.
Come on. Okay. Everyone in the UK thing is going to be a serious brawler bruiser guy. Have one guy, just one guy, come in and be a pirate who has a fucking C4 Spanish fly as his finisher.
So, you're saying you want a comedic wrestler?
Yes.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Uh, two comedic wrestlers.
You're like, oh, yeah, him.
But yeah, but basically, I'm
I
just mean
want.
as as a veteran, as somebody who like knows the ropes, because he was around like
Oh,
10 years ago.
oh, yeah. I agree. They need like a WWE veteran to like
Hmm.
as like the anchor, not the guy who wins the belt and holds it for a while, but as a guy who
Yeah,
can, if in a heartbeat, go for that belt if they need it.
yeah. Especially
Um,
considering that
if
everyone in the
they
division is like 25 years old or younger.
if they could, which I highly doubt they'll that this will happen,
Hmm.
I would love to see a return of Wade Barrett, because he would go with that whole style they have at the moment. But
Definitely.
he is more likely to debut in WCPW than WWE at the moment.
Well, he's already been in WCPW a couple times, hasn't he?
Yeah, as an announcer, not actual in-ring stuff.
Yeah, but he got into a thing with Matt
He
or Dave
yeah,
Mastiff, I think. So
not Mastiff. Basically, he's this really loud, really obnoxious guy who thinks he's really good but isn't, and he bullhammer elbowed him and knocked him the fuck out.
yeah, I remember seeing that from the Rumble thing.
Yes, that the WCPW Rumble thing. Yes, that was good.
Hmm.
I like that show. Um,
Yeah. So after that, they had or they did the injury updates for both of the DIY guys. They said Tommaso has a major knee injury, and they had no medical update for Johnny Gargano. Tom Phillips is a lying fucking bastard.
Meaning Johnny is most likely not injured and is
Oh yeah, of course.
just gimmick wise and he'll maybe show up on the main roster at some point.
Yeah, yeah. Like they also made sure to mention that Johnny isn't talking to anyone. So
Mm.
they're really selling the fact that this probably emotionally destroyed him.
Yeah, like the way I look at it is and I've kind of noticed this NXT. There's like three main ways you move up. You get
Hmm.
injured and you move and you leave NXT and move up. You just disappear, or there's big fanfare.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
just disappearing one, as an example, the drifter Elias Sampson, who should drift from WWE programming into the indie scene.
Oh, come on.
Hey, I'm not saying he shouldn't wrestle. I'm
Although
saying go to
he
the
did
in.
have a loser leaves town match, so that's sort of fanfare.
Yes, but I'm more saying, yeah, he lost that, but then he stuck around for a while and then disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm more saying with fanfare, I'm more talking like the Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby
Oh, okay,
Roode
like
kind of.
Sasha Banks is
Yeah,
leaving.
the okay, I'm leaving now, goodbye, or like it's either how they leave NXT or how they enter the main roster. Either one of
Mm-hmm.
those, there's big fanfare. And
Yeah.
then the injury one, obviously, people either get actually injured and they were pretty much ready to leave NXT anyway. He,
Hmm.
so they go, okay, the feud's dead, you can't finish it. It
Like
you're heading
Austin
to main.
Aries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Austin Aries was in the middle of feud, got injured, and they were like, put him on main, have him do voice work, which was amazing, and then he
Hmm.
started doing 205 live stuff.
Right. Right. So after that, we had an interview in the car with Bobby Roode.
Yep.
He said there would be a glorious championship celebration, but we aren't invited.
So I've noticed something.
Hmm.
The singles champions like doing interviews in cars.
Yeah, it's the new thing that they do. Like I'd imagine if they had or if they didn't have so much aura to them, then the authors would do it as well. But just seeing the authors in like daily life would be just weird.
I just had a really cool idea for how you could do a car interview for them too. So
Hmm.
you're in a big stretch Hummer.
That also works.
You're in a big stretch Hummer. The authors of pain are sitting across from one another, looking at each other, and then behind them M is like sitting looking straight at the camera is Paul Ellering, and he exposes what he does as
Yeah.
he does one of his promos, and that'd be a way to do it. I think those two don't really they don't really fit the
Yeah,
car interview style. But if
they don't fit normal interviews in general.
but
Like they're
it,
just like
as an example, the two like sports people, if they won it, I could see them doing an interview in a limo.
definitely, definitely.
They fit it.
What kind of car would heavy machinery ride in?
Um, One of those big dump trucks. Just rent one of them for a day.
They just show up in like a freaking bulldozer.
No, no, they're sitting in the back of it in the in the
Oh,
bin.
oh, I like it. I like it. All right, so then after that, we got the match between Danny Burch and Pete Dunne.
Which was
Cra-
decent, really good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Crowd liked Danny and fucking loved Pete Dunne.
Well, it is Pete Dunne.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Dunne is not going to be in that UK scene for very long. I think he's going to be there for a year or so, and then go solely to like Raw SmackDown work.
Yeah, definitely, because he is ready to go.
He is
Um,
money. He is money in the British for like he's what they wanted with Wade Barrett.
mm-hmm. I can agree with that. So there's lots of joint manipulation early on in this match. At one point, Birch grabbed Birch grabbed Dunn's hand with like both of his hands and just yanked his fingers apart like a freaking wishbone.
Yes, we call that the Marty Skrull treatment.
It sucks.
Yes, I am very annoyed that I'm not sure. Did they do the you sick fuck chant? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what they usually chant when in the indie scene. That's what they usually chant when they do that. Is you sick fuck, you sick fuck.
Mhm.
Also, the
Yeah.
sound it makes is lovely.
Blah. Yeah. But then after that one move, like they just started throwing one shot at another,
Yeah.
and it did not stop for the rest of the match. Like it went to British strong style.
Another point spot you missed that I absolutely loved. Pete Dunne goes for the leapfrog. Danny Burch goes under, grabs his foot, slam, and like all in midair, one motion, grabs his leg, slam down, and
Yeah,
that was
you said
lovely.
that was also a Skrull move.
No, I'm not sure if that is or not, but that's a really good thing that some indie guys do.
Yeah, yeah. I remember during Birch's match with I believe Almas, he did that move as well, and we were like, oh, that's a cool move.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
all the British guys, I like. There aren't really anyone. Like I can't point to one and say they are the weakest. They are clearly the weakest,
hmm yeah,
which is
but
good because that means you have good roster depth. Depth.
def definitely. So yeah, Danny did that one spot where he does the uppercuts, screams, and goes to the ropes, but he like every time he does that move, he gets countered. Like maybe you should stop doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
Oh,
do
and
it at a different time.
yeah, like maybe scream while running,
Yeah.
so you're not like just there waiting to get uppercutted. But the move of the match, like it was very near the end. Dunn goes for some springboard move, and Birch just decks him. He nearly falls down, but Birch grabs him, puts him back up on the top rope, and hits him with a draping DDT.
Hmm.
Vintage, vintage Birch.
It can't be vintage. He's just started in the WWE.
Vintage. And he got a 2 out of it. But so then Dunn fought back. hit a suplex into the ropes, hit the bitter end. That's your 3.
Yep.
Uh,
Does an awesome
crowd gave.
promo.
Oh, by the way, before that, the crowd gave him a freaking standing ovation.
Yeah.
Crowd was into this match.
They're into the British stuff because it's different from what normal WWE stuff is. That's why that like if you look at the guys who are popular at the moment, like even in 205 Live,
Mm-hmm.
they're all from the British scene. Jack Gallagher, Noam Dar, uh,
Neville.
Neville, all the guys from the UK tournament. There's a reason for that. One, the British
Mm-hmm.
scene's blowing up. Two, and this is the important thing, they're really, really good, and it's different from what WWE has been doing for so very long.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So
Definitely.
if WWE went and said, okay, over the next year we're going to be like lessening what our style and more moving towards a British kind of style or a British hybrid style, I think you would
Mm-hmm.
see an influx of people.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is the kind of thing that gets people watching it.
Because it's like
It was,
it's like the problem with WWE at the moment is their style has become predictable. This is kind of what
predictable.
happened. This is kind of what happened in the early '90s. It got predictable. We always kind of figured who. We always kind of could figure out who was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Attitude Era happened, and everything changed, and we didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah.
And I think we're right on the edge of one of those scene changes in WWE, which has got me massively excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So, next up was a Patrick Clark interview.
Ah!
So before the interview could even ask a question, he said that the ambiance in the room was all wrong, and that once they fixed the place up, then maybe he'd do an interview.
Well,
I
that's
could
one
not get
way
over
of
the fact. I
that's
could not get over the fact that the or that the interviewer actually called him just Velveteen, like that's his first name.
so
Ugh.
that is one way of how you can infer what he implied. The other way is once we improve the lighting and improve you, I'll fuck you. That is one way you could infer it because he did instantly go like he went from the he pointed up in the sky, obviously the ambiance. Then he
Mhm.
grabbed her he grabbed her hair and said this, yes,
Mhm.
and then said and maybe, and then walked off. And I'm
Hmm.
like, is that a sex joke? I think it is.
It might be a sex thing, because, like, apparently, I haven't looked this up, but apparently, if you go on to Patrick Clark's Twitter thing, like, he's playing himself off like this big, like a big ladies' man. Like, that's part of his character. He gets all of the ladies. So,
As a bisexual man, I say no, no, you do not, sir. You may look attractive, but you seem like a jackoff.
hey, and sometimes that works.
Uh, uh,
Yeah. So after that segment, we had an Authors of Pain vignette. Had Paul in the spotlight again. I think that's basically how all of these vignettes have gone so far.
I'm going to be honest. I have got sick of
Mm-hmm.
it because it's the exact same vignette, pretty much saying the exact same thing, so I skipped it.
Yeah, yeah. This is like whenever they do these kinds of vignettes, like the music is always way too loud, and I can't understand what the hell Paul is saying. So,
I have
but
pretty much given up on the authors as far as promo work has gone until I get told they have done a drastic change in how they do
mhm.
it. I am not caring for them. I like they have all the potential in the world, and I know they're going to get pushed, but at the moment they do not deserve it.
Mm. Well, at the very end, the what I was able to understand was that Paul says that the book of pain is closed and that the book of dominance has opened. Cool.
They have beaten, with those, while holding those titles, two teams.
Yeah. Although I think another part of what they were talking about was that they built their legacy off of like beating champions. They beat American Alpha. They beat well, TM618 isn't champions yet, but they beat them to win the Dusty Classic. They beat Revival. They beat DIY to the point where they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like there's something that there with that with these promos, but like number one, they need to clean up the audio with it so that we can actually hear him, and number two, like I don't know what number two is, but something needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So next up was Andrade Almas fighting Cesar Bonane, our old friend.
That guy, that guy.
That guy.
Give him a year, maybe two. I could see him in main
Hmm.
roster.
Oh, definitely. I
Mid card
like.
roster, eventually going up to, depending on how he gets on the mic and such, he could definitely main event a pay per view. He's got
Oh
the
yeah.
look.
He's got the look, and he can tap into like he's kind of got the same sort of like international appeal that Jinder has because
Mm.
like Brazil is another one of those markets that's pretty damn big and largely untapped by wrestling. Like there isn't really a Brazilian wrestling scene.
Well, see, the thing, and this is something that is a bit interesting. If
Hmm.
that they can say he's Brazil, but from Brazil, but they can also market him to like Chile and all those kinds of areas too, because it's
Argentina.
yeah, because they're like it's a big place and they don't have that many wrestlers. So when one of them does make it big, I think they'll all kind of
Hmm.
join in as kind of like a. It would be like if
It'd
like
kind of be like if somebody from Bangladesh got into wrestling. It'd be like, oh, Jinder, he's from close by or from Sri Lanka.
yeah, it's like another one is like the Philippines. Like the Philippines is a massive place. Is when you think distance wise, it's
Hmm.
landmass not so much, but like
It does have a lot of
another
people, I know that.
another
But
example is
but they
Tonga
do
and
have a
Samoa.
Filipino guy. They do have a Filipino guy.
Yeah, DJ.
TJP.
Yeah. Another example is Samoa and Tonga.
Yeah, but like or WWE has like employed so many like Samoans that like that's
Oh
just part of their
well,
thing.
I'm
Like they,
getting at is just because they're two different nations, they kind
Mhm.
of both like when one of their guys succeeds, they both kind of like yeah, good for him.
Ah, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So for this match, like almost came out like a fucking house of fire to start. Like he hit the double knees on him within like 20 seconds.
The moment I knew he was losing that match for sure was when he didn't just go for the pin there.
Yeah, like he could have won that match within 30 seconds, but like he just kept going. Honestly, it made it feel like. Oh, by the way, Cesar won.
Oh yeah.
Ce- I don't think we ever mentioned that. Cesar Bonani pinned Andrade Almas. Like this is why I kind of like the like build people up with these like jobber matches because one out of every 100 of these matches you will get an upset victory like this and
Mm.
it just like
You need to. That's the thing. NXT
Mhm.
is willing to do it, but the main roster isn't.
Yeah, yeah. Like when was the last time they had somebody like say Heath Slater beat someone like Seth Rollins like on
Slowly
those
looks
levels?
over at Jinder Mahal.
Fair point.
this is gonna be a joke, and I don't want it to be a joke, but
It's kind of a joke.
yeah, like I'm rooting for Jinder because like I think he can do good work given a chance, but the problem is I don't think the wrestling community is going to give him one.
He's off to a rough start.
I know.
Like the match at Backlash was meh at best, and
It was a
like
honestly,
they're
it was a
doing nothing great,
passable title match.
which
It's not
is meh. Like if
honestly
you're main
no.
eventing a pay-per-view, passing is like
That's the thing. Not every pay per view has to be amazing, especially when it's like this is the downtime for wrestling.
true, but this is his first impression. Like this is like his first big like on the network moment for him to really shine, and he just put in a C plus effort.
I wouldn't say C plus. I'd say like B,
B minus.
flat
Like
B.
not amazing.
Yeah, like
So
great, great for the work that they put in and how much like. I also look at the fact that the crowd wasn't that hyped for the match because it's kind of been built really fast. If Jinder Mahal was built over like from when he got the build from when he won that multi-man match to say SummerSlam, we'd be
yeah,
talking a different tune.
I will stand by my idea that if you had swapped the two titles, like if Jinder had just won the United States title and AJ and Kevin were feuding over the world title, all the problems would be solved.
Mm.
Because they would be building up Jinder and
To that main
taking
event.
two guys like
Yeah.
AJ and Kevin and having them like go for the best title in the business.
Honestly, it is building the prestige of the US title.
That is 100% true. The US title feels like a big deal.
Yes, which is more than we can say for what it has been in the past years. Like the last time it felt this prestigious was when John Cena was defending it every week.
Hmm. So
Anyway,
yes, back to this match. Like Almas was just laying into Bonani. Like he earned this one. Like I get the feeling that someone told him, "Hey, the Brazilian guy is going over on you," and he's like, "Oh, is he now?"
I think this is also Banani's like initiation into NXT. Like, okay, you're gonna win this match, but you're gonna get the shite kicked out of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But this also kind of plays into Almas's character because after the match, he got pissed. Like he was like throwing shit around. He threw a
Yeah.
chair into the ring, but then he kind of cooled down and was just like,
Oh wait, I'm me.
"I'm I'm literally drowning in pussy."
That,
Like
that,
I
here's the thing. I'm waiting. Like at this point, with if I was William Regal, I would say you have to start performing, or you're out on your ass.
yes, I feel like this match is going to end up being his wake up call. Like he's gonna have like he's gonna be backstage. He's gonna have a couple of hot ladies beside him, and then Regal's gonna come up to him and be like, "Andrade, like seriously, the fuck."
Like seriously, the fuck you had that one, and you got cocky and lost. If you, I'll tell you what he should have put on him: the old
Mhm.
"if you lose, you have to leave" stipulation, and
Yeah,
and then have him go on a tear and win the belt.
they could. Yeah, they could definitely do something like that. Or they could have him get like really close and have the crowd start getting back into him, have him lose to some dastardly heel, and then go to main.
So a dastardly heel like the glorious one.
Might as well.
Uh,
Okay, every time they say the glorious or our glorious champion, maybe this is just me like looking too deep into this. I think you know what I'm about to say.
Go on.
Why does it sound like they're talking about Kim Jong Il? Because that's what
Well,
they always call Kim Jong Il, our glorious leader, Kim Jong Il.
well, all I have to say is I got nothing for this one.
Yeah, I know. Let me flap in the breeze on this one. But yeah. So after Almas basically skipped away, we got another one of those videos with Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Uh,
They're
they're talking
gonna
about
get
one.
their ass kicked.
Yeah. So they're talking about doing a makeover of the gym when Ember Moon walks into their shot. The Aussies start to run her down for being injured, and then some medical guy walks in and is like, "Here, you need to sign this release form," and that shut them the hell down quick.
I wonder who she's going to face.
Yeah, she's probably like which one was the one that didn't get injured by the eclipse?
I do not know. I do not care. I am
She's
sorry
fighting the
for.
other one.
I am sorry for my fellow Australians.
They gonna die. So I've been thinking about ways that they can kind of like start getting um, Ember's character over, and I had an idea for like a match. So what if like they have a match, or Ember has a match with someone that she's friends with, like let's go with Liv Morgan, like they're close.
Eh,
So they're the closest out of anyone who's
yeah.
been to Ember. So throughout the match, like Ember keeps going for pins because she wants to end the match without hitting the eclipse, because she knows that if she does, like she's gonna hurt her friend, and she doesn't want to do that. And then finally at the very end and Liv keeps kicking out and looking like a really resilient person, and at the very end Ember's like, "Ugh, I hate that I have to do this," and then hits the eclipse and gets a quick 3 and immediately checks on her friend.
Eh,
Like that does a lot for a lot of people. Like it makes Liv look strong. It makes
yeah, but
Ember look relatable.
see, her problem isn't in the ring work. Her problem
Yeah,
is promo work.
yeah, and that's like, well, promo work, but
She,
like,
what I think she should be doing is every week doing a promo.
well, we kind of got something like that this week because after she signed the release form, she was like, "See you soon." Like it was really simple, and like it didn't do too much to make people go, "Oh man, her promos are not great." Like it was simple, good.
See, I have a feeling that she's gonna do okay in NXT.
Hmm.
Then she's gonna hit the main roster and flounder.
Oh man, you telling me that the main roster isn't gonna know what to do with the women? Phew,
No, I mean,
knock me over with a paintbrush.
look at the women that are gonna be once she joins. Think of the women who are gonna be there. You're gonna have Charlotte, Asuka, Bailey, Sasha, Alexa
Alexa,
Bliss. This
Jordan say Naomi.
yeah, Naomi. Me. And those are just the ones that I'm thinking off the top of my head.
Becky.
Oh yeah, Becky. I almost forgot Becky. Anyone who just goes straight to the main roster from the Mae Young Classic,
Mm-hmm.
which I do
Yeah.
think there'll be a few who
Mm-hmm.
I have the feeling that she is going to flounder in the main roster, maybe win the belt once, and then disappear, which
Yeah.
is annoying because she's decent. She's really good in the ring, but she's not that good on the mic. And compared to all the other women, they're either
Well,
amazing
to
in the
be fair,
ring.
there's only a few women who are amazing on the mic. Like I'm just thinking off the top of my head, Alexa is great. Like she is A tier.
Yeah, she
Um,
is. There is a reason why she's the first person to hold both Raw and SmackDown belts.
but then after that, who's the next best? Like Carmella?
Sasha.
Sasha maybe? Like but Sasha has a very clear like
Style.
promo voice. Like it doesn't feel all that natural. Like Alexa feels natural. Carmella feels kind of natural. Sasha feels kind of like stiff. You know what I mean?
Not really.
Mm, well, either way. So
Yeah.
after that, they announced that we're gonna have a rematch for the women's title: Alexa, Ruby, and Nikki. Only this time it'll be under elimination rules.
All I have to say, and this is very important, is if either of the two win, Ruby or what's her name, Ruby or
Nikki,
Nikki, um,
literally my name.
yeah, literally this, like, if either of them win, it's pointless. Like, why? Like, they
There's
one of
a
them
one
have to.
thousand.
One of them has to like booking like story wise. We know who's going to win this, but it makes the other two look so very weak.
Yeah. There's a 100% chance that Asuka's walking away from this match with the title. 99.5% chance that she's pinning both of them.
Yes,
Like,
literally, what they could have done is and this would have been a really good thing to signal like, okay, this is the future kind of situation.
mhm,
Nikki or Ruby wins the belt without pinning Asuka. Then we have this match.
mhm,
Match. Match. Asuka beats doesn't beat both of them, but like say Nikki wins the belt, Ruby pins Nikki, and then Asuka pins Ruby
get the title back.
to get the title back. She gets her win back. Ack, ack.
Hmm.
She still hasn't been pinned or submitted, so she still has that sheen to her. Uh, and it also feeds into the whole Nikki Ruby feud.
Yeah.
And then you
All
can
right.
have a pseudo rubber match at at the next takeover.
Hmm. All right. So next up, they showed the footage from Takeover with Hideo trashing the locker room. I talked about this last week.
Yeah,
I forgot to mention that Funaki was there.
Funaki-san.
Number one SmackDown announcer. I also forgot to mention that Hideo was apparently cussing out Cassius like really hard.
I know. The moment he started cursing, I went, "He's cursing in
Whoa.
Japanese."
I wanted to see like I bet that's why Funaki was there so that he could sell the Japanese cussing. Hideo-san.
Hideo-san, why? And
Uh,
now I do like the fact that they've already made up.
yeah, that's good. Although I feel like that's not gonna last. Next week is gonna be Hideo versus Oni.
So I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
What if Hideo goes to Sanity?
What if Hideo does what?
Goes to Sanity.
Huh.
Because at the moment, Cassius is heavily entrenched in that Sanity team fight.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Like next week after his match with Oney Lorcan, which he loses, we have a backstage promo where him, like, this doesn't need to be on XT. This could be on XT or it could be on the net on like .com kind of thing. And,
Mm-hmm.
and you have like a little thing where it's Eric Young and talks to Hideo, and then like next week it's another like team fight, like it's a 6-man fight. Right, Hideo comes out and it looks like he's going to help him. Turns on him, joins Sanity, gets his own Japanese themed jacket.
Mm-hmm. That would, I think, help out a whole bunch because, like, right now,
Hideo doesn't have
s-
anything to
like,
do.
Well, yeah, and for later on in this video, Sanity loses again to Roderick Strong.
And
Like,
Co.
yeah, like picking up another member like Hideo Itami would definitely help them get their momentum back. So
And it also
that
makes Eric Young look strong because he's getting more people. Looks over at Bray
yeah,
Wyatt.
makes him kind of a charismatic kind of dude.
Looks over at Bray Wyatt and his non-existent cult.
You know, he's a cult leader that doesn't have a cult. By the way, sorry if you can hear thunder.
It's okay. We
Can you hear thunder?
I heard it, but it's okay. Like, that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
All
think
right. Luckily, it's not too loud. I don't
next...
think.
Yeah, it's not, honestly. I think the next thing is the main event, the tag match.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It was Eric Young and Alexander Wolf versus Roderick Strong and Cassius Ohno.
So,
Nikki Cross was notably absent from this match.
yes, she was.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've got a question. And this is to do with the ending of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Eric Young ask Killian Dane to interfere in the match while the match was still going, which would have resulted in Sanity losing and getting DQ'd?
Because at that point he was like, you know what, shit's going belly up. Let's just go ahead and like wreck the match and like destroy these dudes so that we can stand tall, even if we don't pick up the win.
Okay, I'm willing to accept that. But anyway,
So
this tag match was good.
yeah, Cassius is still rocking that Kings jersey that I want.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I thought it was like it's either the Kings or what is the basketball team? Um,
Orlando's got the Magic.
I 1 second. I'm trying to remember, like, because I know it's not the Kings because the LA Kings is purple, black, and silver.
Okay, no. That the one that Cassius was wearing was the Sacramento Kings. The LA Kings is the hockey team. But yeah, Los Angeles' basketball teams are the Lakers and the Clippers.
Huh. So that's that's the Sacramento Kings.
Yes.
Why can't you guys
Why?
fix? Why can't you guys have more? Why do you have to have multiple teams have the same name?
Because between all four sports in like there's 30 teams in each sport, that's 120 different names, and eventually people stopped being creative.
Goes.
Like at one point, like literally at one point there was two different St. Louis Cardinals.
I know
That
which
was
team.
confusing.
I know which one ended up staying.
Yeah. The other one, like there was the football or the baseball St. Louis Cardinals who stayed, and the baseball Arizona Cardinals moved to Arizona.
Wait. Okay, that confuses me even more because the Sacramento Kings have pretty much the same design as the LA Kings.
They're similar, yeah. And here's an even better question. Why was he wearing the Sacramento Kings jersey in fucking Orlando?
You know what?
Like wear that sweet Penny Hardaway throwback. That was cool. I would say have him wear something that's more modern, but I can't name a single player on the Orlando Magic.
You know, there is one option that could, if he ever goes heel, there is one jersey he can automatically wear to get him heat in Miami.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Cavs.
So, just wear Cavs jersey and you are instantly hated in that
or better
area.
yet, wear a Heat LeBron jersey.
He'll be getting heat.
Sports puns. That's the kind of quality you can expect from the Haymakers.
Yes.
Nice. So yeah, as we mentioned, Cassius, or so at the very end, um, Eric Young basically said, "Fuck this, let's get the big guy involved," and then surprise return by No Way Jose.
No
Nice to
way.
see him.
You must be lying. It can't be Jose.
Who is this man?
No way was it Jose.
Why is he always being denied?
Who is this No Way, and why is he always being? I love that line.
Fucked it up, but it's still good.
Yeah, I know I fucked it up, but I'm not Corey Graves.
No one is.
Um,
So
so so who else is waiting for the massive Mardi Gras? Like, one when No Way Jose debuts, it has to be in New Orleans. That's the word I was looking for. That's the place I was looking for. It has to be New Orleans, and they have to do a
I know.
massive Mardi Gras kind of thing for him.
Uh, okay, I could buy that.
Yeah,
By the way, the city's pronounced New Orleans.
no,
New
it's
Orleans is about as New Orleans is about as real as fucking Atlantis.
I'm sorry, but I speak English, not French.
Well, we speak French here. Sorry, that is a big stickler around here.
I know. That's why I
Like
said
anytime
it.
that's like anytime somebody says New Orleans around here, they're like, "You ain't from around here, are you?"
Sits over here sipping coconut drinks while sitting by a pool in the city of Townsville.
It's under attack.
Yes, I know. Every single week. Anyway, this match was a decent tag team match for a group of people who aren't for two people who aren't really a tag team, and a group who aren't really a tag team either, but a faction.
Yeah, like Ono was in this match for like the entire middle 90% of it. Like there was like Roderick started the match, and
And
just started
then
throwing hands with Eric quick. Then they did a quick tag out to Cassius, and then Roderick didn't appear again in the match until the very end. But
Cass is going to main roster eventually.
mm-hmm.
I think he's
Yeah.
already ready. They're just getting him acclimatized to the WWE style.
Yeah, that and like building they're building up his character a little bit and just
Rebuilding it,
mhm.
getting it known to the WWE audience who watches NXT.
Yeah. He can go to the main roster pretty much whenever they need him.
Also recording some. Obviously, they're going to use some footage for when he does debut, so they're using this as a time to gather it and such. I think he'll
Mm-hmm.
have like
Yeah.
one or two big feuds and then probably debut around Survivor Series.
That seems fair. But yeah, so after No Way came down, Cassius forearmed the fuck out of Alexander Wolf, and Strong hit his suplex backbreaker, which is apparently called the End of Heartache.
Eh,
I only know. Well, I actually looked it up, and apparently he's been calling it that ever since his PWG days. So
mm,
yeah, End of Heartache, and yeah, got the pin. So yeah, like I hope you're right about the Hideo thing, because Sanity needs to do something big to
that,
like start getting their momentum back.
yeah, and getting a new member who like even if Hideo doesn't stay with Sanity to main roster, having him there with them for a while will help them get some of that momentum back.
Yeah, yeah, because um, right now they've got Roderick, Cassius, No Way Jose, and presumably they can bring Ruby Riot in to feud or be the equalizer
Nicky.
uh, for Nikki Cross. So they don't have the numbers advantage that they like to boast about. So they need somebody to like even out those, or not to even them out, but to give Sanity that numbers advantage back.
Yes, yes, they do. Yeah. Um, you know what? With this, this is how I think they should have had Eric Young's match at Takeover end, with
Mhm.
people coming out to help him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that way it doesn't seem like
sanity
Roddy won a
is,
3-on-1 handicap match.
yeah. That then it looks like okay, Roddy had a good match against Eric Young and was able to win because the numbers game was taken out of it. And Eric Young
Yeah,
only lost because his numbers advantage disappeared.
right.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
either way,
Yeah.
that was NXT this week. A fine episode.
Yeah, it's the first real episode we've had since Takeover.
Hmm. And they had some good stuff in there. Like the two uh like normal matches were very good, and they're starting to build up some more people like Cesar.
Yep.
That was cool.
Um.
Oh, by the way, they also on the uh YouTube channel, they announced for next week Killian Dane versus No Way Jose.
Bye bye. No way.
You're gonna die in your return match.
They also announced. No, no, we talked about that. Never mind. Forget about me.
Yep. The
Um,
only other yep.
they like
Uh,
what,
the only other matches that they've announced for next week are
the triple threat
Hide.
match.
Well, that's in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's in 2 weeks. I missed that part.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So the only other match for next week that they've talked about is Hideo versus Oni Lorcan.
Mm. So we've got 2 matches, probably out of 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, they'll probably have something else, maybe like a thing with heavy machinery or
The
I don't know,
offers or something. A tag
Aleister
match.
Black.
Yeah, maybe Alistair. Anyway, we will see you next week. Don't forget to watch the Raw predictions for Extreme Rules, which happens this weekend. We
Hmm.
will see you. And don't forget to watch out for SmackDown's predictions of Money in the Bank, which is coming up, which looks really good. And I wish I was able to talk with you guys about, but I'm on the Raw side.
You've made your bed.
I did not make my bed, it was made and I was forced into it.
Good night, everybody.